Once upon a time, in a bustling village nestled deep within the heart of Africa, there lived a young girl named Adama. Now, Adama was not your ordinary village maiden. She had a keen eye for adventure and a heart that beat to the rhythm of curiosity. She and her family had just moved to that village from the neighboring village of Kwitu. One sunny day, as Adama was fetching water from the village well, she stumbled upon a peculiar sight. There, sitting under the shade of a baobab tree, was a man with a head shaped like an egg. Yes, you heard that right, an egg. His name was Kwaku, and he was renowned throughout the village for his unmatched wisdom and quirky appearance. Despite the whispers and giggles of the villagers, Adama couldn't help but feel drawn to Kwaku and his egg-shaped head. She found herself spending more and more time with him, listening intently to his tales of far-off lands and ancient legends. As days turned into weeks, Adama realized that she had fallen head over heels in love with Kwaku, egg-shaped head and all. She didn't care what the other villagers thought. She knew that her love for Kwaku was as true as the African sun. But oh, the trials and tribulations of love. Kwaku was completely oblivious to Adama's affections. For one, he was too preoccupied with pondering the mysteries of the universe, and two, he thought Adama was too beautiful to ever take him seriously. Undeterred, Adama decided to take matters into her own hands. With the help of her mischievous friends, she devised a plan to catch Kwaku's attention. They concocted a potion that would make Kwaku's egg-shaped head glow in the moonlight, hoping that it would finally make him see Adama in a new light. The night of the full moon arrived, and Adama nervously approached Kwaku with the glowing potion in hand. With a mischievous grin, she poured the potion over Kwaku's head, eagerly awaiting his reaction. To her dismay, Kwaku simply blinked and remarked, "Ah, so this is what it feels like to have an illuminated head. Fascinating." And with that, he went back to his old self, leaving Adama standing there in disbelief. Now Kwaku was not just known for his egg-shaped head and wisdom. He was also known for his comedic antics and mischievous pranks that kept the village entertained and on their toes. One day, Kwaku decided to play a prank on the village elders during a community meeting. He crafted a special ink that was invisible to the eye and replaced the ink used for official documents with his concoction. As the elders began to sign important papers, they were baffled to find that their signatures had disappeared into thin air. After much confusion and shock, Kwaku finally revealed his trick, leaving the villagers in stitches of laughter. Now, Kwaku had a fondness for animals, particularly goats. So, he decided to teach one of the village goats how to dance. Using a combination of cleverly placed treats and clapping, Kwaku trained the goat to perform a hilarious dance whenever he snapped his fingers. The sight of a dancing goat prancing through the village square left everyone in fits of laughter, much to the bewilderment of the goat itself. One moonlit night, Kwaku decided to shock the villagers by playing another prank. He found an abandoned hut on the outskirts of the village. With the help of some scary music and strategically placed sheets, he created the illusion of ghosts floating through the air. The villagers, believing the hut to be haunted, were terrified and fled in panic. But when Kwaku revealed himself as the mastermind behind the prank, the villagers couldn't help but laugh at themselves. Kwaku's jokes brought joy and laughter to the village, reminding everyone not to take life too seriously. And though his egg-shaped head raised eyebrows, his heart of gold and mischievous spirit endeared him to all who knew him. Unfortunately, Kwaku, as happy as he was taunted by the men of the village for his strangely shaped head. Yes, it seemed that no matter how many laughs he brought to the village, there were always a few losers determined to put him down. Now, Kwaku, being the resilient soul that he was, tried his best to brush off the insults with a witty retort. But sometimes, the mean jokes would leave him feeling terribly hurt. One particularly memorable incident occurred during the village festival, where Kwaku was eagerly participating in the egg and spoon race. As he balanced his egg atop a spoon with practiced finesse, a group of mischievous young men couldn't resist the opportunity to put him down. "Look at Kwaku. His head's already shaped like an egg. He's got a natural advantage," they joked, their laughter echoing across the village square. But instead of letting their words crack his confidence, Kwaku simply flashed them a cheeky smile. "Ah, but can your heads balance as many brilliant ideas as mine? I think not. The villagers erupted into laughter, and even the teasing young men couldn't help but chuckle at Kwaku's quick wit. And so, while the taunts may have bruised his pride from time to time, Kwaku remained resilient even when others wanted to put him down. He turned every insult into an opportunity for laughter, and every setback into a chance to shine even brighter. After all, as Kwaku would say, life's too short to take yourself too seriously, especially when you've got an egg-shaped head. One thing I need to tell you about Kwaku is that he was in love with the village chief's daughter, Shiko. Now, Shiko was not what one would call conventionally pretty. With her crooked smile and a penchant for mischief that rivaled even Kwaku's, she was often overlooked by the other young men in the village. But to Kwaku, she was the most beautiful creature in the world, her laughter like music to his ears and her spirit as wild and untamed as the African plains. Determined to win Shiko's heart, Kwaku spared no effort in his courtship. He showered her with gifts. He treated her with the utmost kindness and respect, always ready with a joke or a helping hand whenever she needed it. But alas, Shiko seemed oblivious to Kwaku's affections. She would mock his egg-shaped head continuously. Kwaku would laugh along with the jokes, but each taunt was like a tiny crack in his heart. Despite her teasing, Kwaku refused to give up hope. He continued to woo Shiko with his boundless charm and unwavering devotion, hoping that one day she would see past his egg-shaped head and into the depths of his soul. For you see, Kwaku knew that true love was not about outward appearances or petty taunts. It was about finding someone who accepted you for who you truly were. And so, as the sun set over the village and the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, Kwaku vowed to never give up on his love for Shiko, no matter how many eggs were cracked along the way. Unfortunately, as the days passed, Shiko's teasing of Kwaku only seemed to escalate, leaving him feeling more disheartened than ever. One day, as Kwaku was mustering up the courage to express his feelings to Shiko once again, she caught him off guard with her cutting remarks.
Tell me, Kwaku, how on earth can a man with a head like yours ever hope to win the heart of a woman like me?
Kwaku's heart sank at her words, but he maintained a brave facade, refusing to let her see how deeply her taunts wounded him. With a forced chuckle, he replied,
"Well, my dear girl, maybe it is because my head is shaped like an egg that I have room to give you all this love."
Shiko scoffed, rolling her eyes in mock disbelief. Love? Please, Kwaku, spare me the sentimental nonsense. You may be good for a laugh or two, but let's face it, you and I are worlds apart. Kwaku's smile faltered, but he refused to let Shiko's harsh words extinguish the flicker of hope in his heart. Perhaps we are different, Shiko, he said, but isn't it said that opposites attract? Who knows what wonders could await us if we dared to bridge the divide between us? Shiko simply shrugged, a dismissive smirk playing on her lips. I highly doubt that, Kwaku. But if you insist on entertaining such fanciful notions, I suppose I can humor you for a while longer. With a heavy heart, Kwaku watched as Shiko walked away. And though her words stung like 1,000 bee stings, Kwaku refused to give up hope, for he knew that love was a game of patience and perseverance, and he was determined to play until the very end. Then one day, the unexpected happened. As fate would have it, Shiko's heart soon found its match in the form of the chief's son from a neighboring village. News of their engagement spread like wildfire through the village, leaving Kwaku feeling as though the very ground beneath him had crumbled away. Despite his heartache, Kwaku put on a brave face, determined not to let Shiko or her new suitor see how deeply their happiness pierced his soul. But alas, fate seemed determined to test his resolve, for Shiko's taunts only grew more venomous. You see, Kwaku, Shiko would sneer, her laughter ringing like bitter bells in his ears. Even the chief's son knows that a man with a head like yours could never compare to a catch like him. And if that weren't enough, the chief's son himself joined in the mockery. Indeed, he said, I can't imagine what possessed Shiko to even entertain the idea of being with a fool like you. But fear not, Kwaku, for I shall take good care of her and ensure that she forgets all about her foolish infatuation with you. Though the words cut deep, Kwaku refused to let them break his spirit. With a sad smile and a twinkle in his eye, he would simply nod and reply, "Ah, my dear friend, I have no doubt that you will make Shiko very happy." And with that, Kwaku walked away, leaving Shiko and her arrogant suitor to ponder the depths of his smile. As Kwaku grappled with the sting of rejection from Shiko and the taunts of the chief's son, he found solace in the unwavering affection of none other than Adama, the beautiful maiden who had always seen past his egg-shaped head to the warmth of his heart. Unlike Shiko, Adama's love was pure and unconditional. But despite her beauty and kindness, Kwaku found himself unable to fully accept Adama's affections, his self-esteem battered and bruised by years of ridicule and rejection. However, as he watched Adama's unwavering devotion and the sparkle in her eyes whenever she looked at him, Kwaku began to realize that perhaps he had been looking for love in all the wrong places. For here was a woman who saw him for who he truly was, quirks and all, and loved him not in spite of his egg-shaped head, but because of it. It seemed like a dream to Kwaku. Adama was a very pretty lady, and he simply couldn't understand how a beautiful woman like him could fall for him. With newfound determination, Kwaku resolved to up his self-esteem and give their relationship a chance. He began to see himself through Adama's eyes, not as the butt of jokes or the object of scorn, but as a man worthy of love and respect. And so, with a heart full of hope and a spring in his step, Kwaku took Adama's hand and embarked on a journey of self-discovery and newfound confidence. Together, they laughed and danced beneath the African sky, their love shining like a beacon of light in the darkness. As Kwaku and Adama's love blossomed, their bond grew stronger with each passing day. Their shared laughter echoed through the village, and whispers of their impending marriage spread like wildfire, captivating the hearts of all who heard. With Kwaku's knack for pranks and witty sayings, fame and fortune soon followed, as travelers from far and wide sought out the man with the egg-shaped head. His tales of adventure and his infectious laughter drew crowds from near and far, and before long, Kwaku was a wealthy and respected man in the village. And so, with hearts full of love and pockets full of gold, Kwaku and Adama exchanged vows beneath the African sky, surrounded by friends and family who rejoiced in their newfound happiness. But as Kwaku's fame spread, so too did the whispers of jealousy from a certain someone who had once scorned his love. Yes, Shiko, the village chief's daughter, could not bear to see Kwaku happy without her, and she vowed to do whatever it took to win him back. With a cunning smile and a twinkle in her eye, Shiko set her sights on Kwaku once more, determined to reclaim his heart for herself. She showered him with compliments and flattery, hoping to reignite the flame of their past affection. But Kwaku, now secure in his love for Adama, saw through Shiko's facade and gently rebuffed her advances. "Ah, my dear Shiko," he would say with a wistful smile, "you were once a part of my past, but Adama is my future. I wish you nothing but happiness, but my heart belongs to another." Shiko disappeared into the distance, and Kwaku and Adama embraced each other tightly, secure in the knowledge that their love had conquered all obstacles and that together they would face whatever challenges the future held, hand in hand and heart to heart. Remember this, true love sees beyond appearances. It's important to see the inner qualities that make a person unique and lovable. And most importantly, love yourself just as you are.